Hello, everybody.
Ooh, it's
Kirsten and Chris.
Savvy Pants Shop.
LuLaRoe.
LuLaRoe. Listen, do not sign up for LuLaRoe, even if you have the hat that says LuLaRoe. Do not sign up for LuLaRoe.
Why?
If you can't put up with a few things. So what are the
Yes.
few things? A few things that we've noticed since we just started with LuLaRoe not too long ago. I think the December 11th, I think is when we
11th
started.
or 12th is when we got our
What are the, if I were to say, hey, what are the things that we have to,
contend with.
hey, it's part of the deal, so just put
Yeah.
up with it. What would you say?
I would say right now it's taking a little while to get things that you order. So for us, in order for us to have things to sell or to show you guys, it's taking us a while to get that, like 2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks or so. So if you want to, if that frustrates you, don't sign up
This
because
isn't
it's
for
going
you.
to take a little while. So it's going to be a little bit of a trick to figure out. And I think the reason for that is the company is growing so fast. So before you know it, you're out of stuff. Like, oh man, we got to order some things again. We actually, I think we placed our second order before we had our first one.
Yes.
So when we're placing our next order based on what we're projecting we're going to need in 3 weeks, which is really, if you're in retail, that's going to be the nature of the beast. You're buying stuff
Absolutely.
a year in advance. So if you take that mindset, it's pretty normal. If you take maybe the direct selling mindset, which is I need my inventory yesterday, that's going to be a problem for
It's
you.
not going to work for you. You're going to get extremely frustrated.
Very frustrated. So don't do that. What are the other things that we've noticed here that like, oh man, but then you realize, hey, this is a pretty good thing. So
You need a little bit more space to do this than we had originally projected.
yeah, now we're cheating a little bit because we spent
Yeah.
3 years living in a motorhome. We traveled around the country, taking different work assignments and so forth. So we're coming from the perspective of literally a tiny home.
Yes.
Our home before this was probably about 290 square feet. We moved up to what we're in now of 400 square feet. So it's a little
Which, when we moved in before we started doing LuLaRoe, was like,
plenty of room.
oh my God, we have all this
Oh
space.
my God, we don't have furniture for all this room.
So if you're a hoarder and you have a hard time getting rid of your stuff in order to make room for a business, don't do LuLaRoe.
Don't do
because
LuLaRoe.
you will be very frustrated.
Now, we do have some friends that we know that are doing LuLaRoe with maybe 500 pieces, 700 pieces max. Our first order, I think, was
390.
390. So 390 pieces, including leggings, came in 6 different boxes. So if you could figure, we've got 3 clothing racks right now, and I think we could pretty much easily fill them right now. So the
yes.
problem that we're having is where to put those racks, where to stack them up, that kind of thing.
Yes.
So if you're tight on space, consider that to begin with. You're going to have to be really good at inventory management if you're going to
And
sign
you're
up for
going to
LuLaRoe.
have to let go of
space is a
some
problem.
of your stuff to make room for your inventory.
Just the nature of the
So
beast.
if it's hard for you to do that,
We have what's called an Arizona room, so we move stuff into that, which is a separate unit from the house. We move that in there, we move it back and forth, so it's a little bit of a juggling match.
but
to
if
get
we
started.
can do this in 400 square feet, come on, you guys.
You
I
probably
know
can
most
too.
of you have a lot more than 400 square feet.
But if that's
so-
going to drive you nuts, if you don't have room for it, if you don't have a second
No.
bedroom or a living room you can give up.
Or if you don't mind keeping stuff in your kitchen.
Yeah, and provided maybe you're not Italian, you don't make garlic dinners every night,
Right.
where all of your clothes are going to smell like garlic. So that's one of the other things to contend with is the space that you're going to need.
Yep.
Anything else that you could think of?
Those are the top 2 things.
The
right
top 2
now.
things. The other thing that I've noticed is there is no one particular way that everybody is building LuLaRoe. So there are lots. We talked about this in another video. There is online. There is Periscope, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All sorts of
Pop-up
things.
parties.
Pop-up parties. There's special events you can go to
Online pop-up parties.
online. And I think the numbers that we've heard are expanding. It's probably 100% growth since we started up in reps, I think. So it's growing really fast. So people are doing things a lot of different ways. Because of that, people get in like I did. I'm like, I don't want to remake the wheel. Just tell me how this is being done.
Yeah.
And there are so many people doing so many different things that there really is no one standard way that everybody has
There's
to do this.
no protocol to follow, really.
Which,
So
the way we look at that is that's fantastic. We can forge our own way. We
you
can,
kind of have to blaze your own path with this. If you're not willing to do that,
and it's a business that we can build the way we want to build it. Kirsten and I love working together, but we don't want to work together 7 days a week. We don't want to work together until midnight every night.
No.
There are some people that are doing live shows all the way up to midnight. Some people that are on 6 hours a day. And then there are some people that don't do any online sales whatsoever, zero. We decided to do predominantly online, and we wanted our weekends free, so we do album sales on the weekends. So it's extraordinarily flexible in that regard. But if you need a roadmap and you absolutely have to have the answer starting out, what do I need to do? What's step number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Be very cautious. It's going to be hard to find. And we've also noticed with some of the sponsors in the business that that's being done in many different ways. So our sponsors in the business are very good friends of ours and have been awesome. So what we found is a lot of sponsors maybe don't offer a whole lot. Ours are great. So be very cautious who you're getting in the business with, and find out if they're, as far as resources and things that they can get you, where to go, steps, questions they can answer. Make sure your sponsors are willing to help you out in those things. Otherwise, be very cautious who you start up with.
If you're not a self-starter and you're not a self-motivator, don't do LuLaRoe.
Don't do it. Yeah, and there are like a billion resources out there. A mosquito in a news colony. Where do I start? Is a little bit kind of like how we started. Like, holy crap, there's so much to do. What do we do? Anything else you can think of? Room, space, marketing, all that.
So, a lot of things to take into consideration before you decide to do this business. But it's awfully rewarding if you decide that these things are your forte and you can make this work.
Absolutely. And if those things are going to bug you and drive you nuts, do not sign up for LuLaRoe. It's going to cost you a bunch of money and it's going to be a headache, so don't do it. But if you are considering it, and if you have some more questions, or you're in the queue and you have some questions, or you're thinking about getting into the queue, down below you're going to find all of our contact information. You can find us on Periscope, Facebook. You can see what we're doing. We're happy to answer a lot of questions. The LuLaRoe community has been great to us, so we're happy to pay it forward and give it back to you as well.
Amen.
So find us. Any questions? Otherwise, over and out. Savvy Pants Shop, LuLaRoe, Kirsten, and
Chris.
And the ugly
Find
one.
us.
We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, guys. Love you. See you. Bye.
Bye.